y'all, welcome back to my channel. Hope you are having a wonderful day. This took me so long to do, and I was kind of a little bit, I don't know if I'm going into my I'm so tired, I'm loopy and easily distracted stage, or maybe it's just the caffeine. I don't know. Caffeine doesn't really agree with me. But anyway, guys, today we're back. We're going to be making David Nolan, um, Magaret Blanchard, and Emma Swan from Once Upon a Time for our Let's Play here. So we're starting on David, and I actually, if you guys would like me to, I'll link the pictures that I got of them to reference in the description box, so you can guys kind of see where I got my inspiration from. David Nolan, he was driving me nuts. Okay, I had the worst time with him. I was like, no, his face isn't right. I'm like editing his his facial features, and can't talk today, guys. Probably the caffeine. That's probably the caffeine. So I was going through it, and I'm like, dang, I wish they had like highlighted hair. And as I was going through his hair there just a little bit ago, I'm like, oh wait, there's highlights in that one. And then I'm like, wait, I have a CC for dudes. I forgot about that. Because I don't really make dudes in The Sims. Because, I don't know, they're just more boring to me. I don't know. But the really nice thing I like about the Sims 4 is, like, there's an in-between for the female Sims. For the female Sims in Sims 3, it was either slutty or prudish. And I'm like, okay, not all of my Sims are sluts. I mean, granted, if you are, I mean, you know. Anyway, but I don't want them to be grandma-ish either. So it's really nice to have that in between, where you're like, okay, she looks like a normal human being in The Sims, but now like the guys look like monkeys, horrible monkeys. Not bashing Sims 4. Actually, I'm just getting into it honestly, but yeah. I don't know what I was doing here. I was trying to get his eyes and then his jaw, but he ended up looking like a special cupcake. Like, I know people say special snowflake. I'm changing it to special cupcake. He's a special cupcake, okay? He needs a little bit of help. Don't worry, by the end of this, we're good. So I'm trying to, like, because his face, David Nolan's face, is very, very wide, but it's very thin at the same time. And I don't know how that's possible because it's like an oxymoron. I don't know how it's possible. But it's like long and wide, but at the same time, his cheeks are really, really narrow. So it was really hard for me to kind of get that look in what I was going for. I'm like, okay, finally, I think I finally did it. So the one tip that I always do with mustaches and facial hair for the guys is I don't always match it with the color hair they have because it just looks like too much otherwise. It looks like it's, you know, very just boom. And, you know, that's the one thing I miss about The Sims 3 is, especially for the makeup for the girls, you could definitely go in and change the makeup how you wanted to, make it look less there or more there, and I really liked that. I wish they had the sliders for that. I get why they don't, but I really liked it. It was nice to have because I myself don't wear makeup. I'm a very au naturel person, you know. But I don't know. I don't wear makeup, and no, it's not because, you know, I'm a crazy feminist who like sticks it to the man every time she doesn't go out with makeup. I'm just not that kind of person. I just don't wear makeup. And a lot of people are like, you don't even need it. So yeah, sorry, I'm rambling, guys. Having fun though. So yeah, and here I'm just trying to like, I wanted his body to be a little bit more buff, but not like boom, like in your face, because you know he was working with, you know, lifting heavy things as Prince Charming and doing sword fighting, and he's teaching Henry how to sword fight, and I just didn't feel like he needed to be super buff, but he needed to have something there, you know? I don't like making all my Sims the same, and I actually wasn't very happy with how David turned out in the long run, but it was the best I could do with what I had. So with the toddler update, a lot of mods still aren't working, so I'm waiting a little bit before I add more into the game. Sorry, guys. So I was just trying to like go off what he wears in general, and I don't know. I actually honestly don't really notice what he wears because it's all just kind of meh to me. Like Christina's, I'll be like, oh, she looks really cute in that, or Emma, I'll be like, sorry, I had to. I'm one of those people that will traumatize herself by trying on things on Sims that just won't look good on that Sim. So sorry about that, guys. I had to. It was too much fun. So I sped this up a little bit more than usual, than I plan on doing usually because I do 3 at a time. And I was way, way too like, ooh, look, a shiny bauble over there is, blinking in the sunlight. I must go like stare at it for a minute. So, ooh, look, there's, a candle that I've seen a million times in my house that I have to look at now. So I was very much on that kind of path today. Kind of ditzy, kind of like, should be working on this, but I'm not. I was trying to figure out an aspiration for him. I ended up going with the soulmate because he says, to Mary Margaret, I will always find you. It made him romantic, cheerful, and I think loves outdoors? Question mark? No. Oh, family oriented. Okay, I had to remember. We're taking a second here and we're starting Mary Margaret. And actually, I started to make her, and then I just remembered that there was one in the gallery, and you'll see it in a second, that I was just so in love with that I made it when the first Sims came out. I just couldn't bring myself not to use her and not to play with her again because I was so in love with how she turned out. Mind you, this is when, just the base game was out. This is way back in 2014. So, this is me trying to, like, make it work with this one. It didn't, and I end up going in a second here. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, because I really wanted to make one for you guys, but I ended up going, no. I just really, really love the one that my friend gave some input on way back in the day when it was only the base game, and I'm like, I can't. I have to use her. I'm so in love with her. So this is me trying to recreate her facial structure here. And I'm just trying to mess with her mouth. She was such a hard one. I remember she was so hard to make on Sims 4. Seems like her and David. Except Mary Margaret turned out really nice. A couple of times. I made her actually a couple of times. David is a very hard face to reconstruct. Mary Margaret's, if you tweak with it enough, it's perfect. Now you see I'm deleting her. I'm like, okay, well, I have one from the gallery. So you'll see my gallery here in a second. And it was it was like one of the first Sims I made. And then I went in and actually re-edited her. So that's why I'm looking for which one it is. I'm trying to figure out which one was the re-edited one that I loved more. And I think it ended up being her. I don't know. She just worked a lot better. You can see it looks like her. And I don't know. I had a lot of fun making her. So the biggest thing with her was her lips, because her lips are so thin but full at the same time. They're so thin, but it's a very specific kind of thin. So I had the hardest time with her lips when I made her the first time. So I'm just trying on different hairstyles because, like I said, this was the base game. So I was trying to figure out, okay, what works with what. Maybe now that we have, the transgender, I can use some boy clothes, a boy haircut. So I was messing around with that, and then ultimately just decided. I thought that was a long one or a short one. Ultimately, I just decided to keep it as it was because that one was just too perfect on her. So now I'm just going through and messing with the clothes, trying to figure out if I should, keep what she has on because I like it. I loved the top. I wasn't really in love with the skirt because I feel like maybe she would have worn that once upon a time, no pun intended. But I don't know, it just didn't always, it never really fit her. But with the Sims 3 or the Sims 4 options in the beginning, it was so limited with what we had to work with for, especially like characters like this. And I thought maybe something like this, because she does wear a lot of bold prints, but ultimately, and you'll see what I do, but I was just trying to make it work and it wasn't. I mean, I guess that was okay. Maybe I'll use that as um, a secondary outfit, but I end up changing it back and then just going with a different pants. Because now she wears a lot of pants too, whereas before in the beginning she used to wear a lot of skirts and pencil skirts and long skirts, and now she's gotten more into the pants. So I give her almost like a pantsuit bottom after trying a couple different skirts on her. And I think it works. I think I end up giving her that dine out there on the left. If I remember correctly. Yep. I give it to her in gray because I don't want to really mesh with Regina because I feel like it's just too, I don't know. I want them to be similar, but I want them also to be their own person. So I'm going through, originally was going to give her like something from like the Enchanted Forest, because in the flashbacks how they have Enchanted Forest clothing on. But ultimately, I saw this and I'm just like, that is so Mary Margaret. It is so her, the bold prints, the like 19, 60s, 70s look. And I really, really thought it looked good. And I think she would just adore all the buttons in the back. If I turn her around, you can see them. They're just gorgeous. I was trying to mess with everything and see the right color for her. She had the oh my gosh, the robe on, and I changed it. Now I'm messing with her party wear. And then I just had this like really brilliant idea. I'm like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. And I went back and I changed it because I saw something in the party wear that I'm like, this is just way too perfect for her. So I went and changed her everyday wear because it was like this is her. So I ended up changing it to this, and I love, 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 love those shoes from the vintage glamour stuff. So I ended up using those. I'm like, yes, I get to use them because they're so nice, but you don't really get to use them that often. Like they're definitely my favorites. Like I would totally wear those. So I'm going through, I'm doing her, this was back even when we didn't even have pools when I had her. So she came out with some really weird stuffs where you're just like, okay, what are you on, Sims? Can I have some? No, just kidding. I don't do drugs. But you're just like, sometimes you have to wonder though. So I'm changing it, and then I'm realizing that unfortunately, which I think is silly, I can't make a young adult their kid in CAS, which I kind of think is really silly. Because you do have a lot of families, and that's the other thing I just feel like they should have that option. I also feel like they should definitely have like a grandmother option. So if you have like a toddler or a kid that lives with a grandparent, that you can have them as, that you have the option as roommate instead of just roommate or mother. I feel like that would be a really good addition. So now we're on to Emma Swan. I totally spaced and forgot to figure out her name and what she was doing. So it was one of those days, people. It was seriously one of those days. So I'm just trying to go through her facial stuff, and I had a picture when she was a dark swan because she had a perfect front profile picture on there, where it's hard to get a full face of her because she always has her hair either down or in a high ponytail with some hanging in her face. So it was really nice to get that dark swan. That was kind of a blessing for me. So a lot of this is I'm going off the dark swan look, minus the makeup, but that's where you kind of see where I can get that inspiration from. And at the end of this, you'll see I age her down to a teenager, but not to worry, my dears. I will be aging her back up. So with some lovely cheats. So it's just unfortunate that I had to do it like that, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. So I think I finally got her face done. I was still trying to mess and see what would be better, and then I ended up finding the same one that I used with Regina that just worked really, really good with Regina, that same skin tone. And I don't remember who it's by, I apologize, and I absolutely love that skin tone. So I ended up using that one instead. So I'm readjusting her face a little bit because, with the different skin tones and the different highlights from the different skin tones, it always ends up looking a little bit different. So I go through all of that. But yeah, I don't know, I had a lot of fun with her. She was definitely a work. And then I wanted to see if I could do maybe some CC hair. And I do end up doing CC hair. I love that hairstyle. I'm so sad it doesn't work. But I ended up doing like a Maxis match CC. Is there anyone else who does that blonde in the game, like that, like mustard blonde? And if so, can you tell me? Because I don't ever use it. I feel like it looks too cartoony. So I never use it. But I really like that lighter blonde, and I'm really glad that I don't think that was originally an option, so I'm glad they added that into the game. Because I feel like it really, really, really adds something and maybe it's okay once you get out and play in the world, but for some reason I just never liked the blonde, but I've noticed that they also look a lot different in CAS versus out in the worlds, and I'm wondering if that's because you're just messing with them so much to try and find that look that you don't get a chance to actually just appreciate them. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think. I don't know, I'm still messing with her hair. I think I got her face done pretty much at this point, and I was really happy with what it turned out. So I end up doing, you go through it again, I ended up doing the Maxis match, and I believe that came from, I want to say, hold on one second here, guys, I'll get you the name. I can't find it, but I know what it is. It's a stuff pack, but it's a fan-made stuff pack. So I will definitely get that information for you guys and link it in the description and who it's by, because I never thought I'd like the Maxis match stuff, but I'm kind of in love with it. So if you guys know any really good sites for that, that would be fantastic. Here you see, you know, her, oh, honey, what are you wearing? It is not the 80s. Sorry. Sometimes you gotta worry. So I was trying to figure out something to wear for her to wear, and I ended up, I think, going with this. I really like her in the orange, but I don't think it's her color. I think it like washes her out too much. That washes her out too, but every other color was either too bold for her. I wish there was a red one in there, but the closest thing I could find to that red was an orange or like more of a maroonish pink, and that just was not working for me. I want her to be like really, she's very sensible. If you ever notice that her fashion choices are always like super sensible. I think even in one episode, a flashback episode, um, she's like, and she's wearing, she gets cursed into, is it a dream or something? And she's like, really? Not sensible at all. I mean, she does comment on it, so you do know she really likes sensible things. Going into her party stuff, I wasn't sure what to do for her party. I was kind of just running out of ideas at this point for her. I was like, what do I do? Nothing really works. Because I wanted to keep that red, but it couldn't work. So this is where I'm going to leave you guys. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.